Adam walked up the old mountain path, carrying a small backpack. The air was cold, and the trees were very quiet. He had not visited his cabin for many months. He missed the peaceful sound of the forest and the soft smell of pine. This place was his secret escape from the busy city life. As Adam came closer, he saw his cabin between the trees. It looked the same as always, with its wooden walls and small chimney. But today, something felt different. Adam stopped and listened. The only sound was the wind moving through the leaves. He went to the door and pulled out his old key. When he opened the door, a strange feeling hit him. The air inside was cool, and there was a soft, sweet smell. Adam looked around. Everything looked normal, but he felt like he was not alone. He put his backpack down and started checking the rooms. In the kitchen, he saw something odd. There was a half-eaten apple on the table. Adam was sure. He did not leave it there. Next to it, there was a blue scarf. He picked it up. It was soft, but the material felt different from any cloth he knew. Adam looked around the room. He saw a cup in the sink and muddy footprints on the wooden floor. Someone had been here, but who? No one knew about this place. He called out, "Hello, is anyone here?" There was no answer. He listened carefully. For a moment, he thought he heard a soft sound from upstairs. It was like someone moving very quietly. Adam's heart started beating faster. He took a deep breath and walked slowly up the stairs. The hallway was dark, and he could not see very well. He moved toward the attic door. He put his hand on the doorknob and paused. What if someone dangerous was hiding inside? He pushed the door open. The attic was full of old boxes and dust. A weak light came through the small window. Suddenly he saw movement in the corner. A shape was hiding in the shadows. Adam stepped back, feeling nervous. He could see it was a person, but something was strange. The figure was very still. Then he saw two bright eyes, shining in the dark. Adam tried to speak, but his voice was soft. "Who are you? Why are you here?" The person did not answer. She moved quickly, hiding behind an old chair. Adam could see now it was a woman. She was wearing a long dress, and her hair was silver. She looked scared, her eyes wide. Adam did not move closer. He raised his hands, showing he meant no harm. "It's okay. I won't hurt you," he said. The woman looked at him for a moment, then turned away. She pressed herself against the wall. Adam saw that her skin had a faint blue glow. He felt confused and a little afraid. This woman was not like anyone he had ever seen. Was she lost? Was she hiding from someone? He wanted to help, but he did not know what to do. Adam stepped back. He decided to give her space. He closed the attic door softly and went back downstairs. His mind was full of questions. Who was she? How did she get into his cabin? Why was she hiding? And why did her skin glow like that? He went to the living room and sat down. His hands were shaking. He tried to call his friend on his phone, but there was no signal. He looked at the blue scarf again. The material sparkled in the light. Adam felt like he was in a dream. He could not believe this was happening. As the evening came, Adam tried to stay calm. He locked his bedroom door and listened for any sounds. All night, he heard soft footsteps. Above him, he did not sleep much at midnight. Adam saw a strange blue light coming from under the attic door. He was scared, but he also felt a strange curiosity. Who was this woman? Was she really human? What secret was she hiding? Adam knew he had to find out, but he was also afraid of what he might discover. He lay awake, waiting for morning. The mountain cabin was no longer just a peaceful escape. It had become a place of mystery. And Adam was right in the middle of it. The morning sun climbed slowly over the mountains. Adam sat in his cabin, his mind full of questions from the night before. He wanted to believe it was all a dream. But the blue scarf on the table proved it was real. Somewhere upstairs, the strange woman was hiding. Adam listened for any sound. But the house was silent. He fixed a cup of coffee and tried to calm his nerves. He decided not to go upstairs yet. Instead, he started cleaning the kitchen and thinking about what to do next. As he moved a chair, he noticed something on the floor. It was a silver coin, with symbols he did not recognize. He picked it up and looked at it closely. The markings looked almost like tiny stars and lines. He wondered if it belonged to the woman. Adam wanted to understand her. He took a piece of paper and wrote a simple note. "My name is Adam. Who are you? Are you hungry?" He left the note, the coin, and an apple on the kitchen table. Then he left the cabin for a walk, hoping she would feel safe to come out. Outside, the forest felt alive. Birds sang in the trees, and a cool wind brushed against Adam's face. He tried to relax, but his thoughts kept returning to the woman upstairs. He walked along a small stream and watched the water sparkling in the sun. After an hour, he returned to the cabin. As Adam opened the door, he saw the kitchen had changed. The apple was gone, and so was the coin. His note had been moved, and under it, a new note was left. It was written in shaky, strange letters. Adam could read only one word: safe. The rest of the writing looked like a secret code, he felt. A mix of fear and excitement. Who was she? Why did she trust him enough to take the food but not show herself? He searched the living room and found another clue on the couch. There was a small box with blue light glowing from inside. Adam reached out but stopped. He felt that the box was important and maybe dangerous. He decided not to touch it. That night, Adam tried to sleep, but every small sound made him alert. He heard soft footsteps upstairs. He listened quietly as the steps moved across the attic. Suddenly, there was a faint noise in the kitchen. Adam got up and walked slowly, not wanting to scare her. He saw the woman for a moment, standing by the table. Her silver hair shimmered in the light. She wore the blue scarf over her shoulders. Her eyes were big and bright, watching Adam with fear and curiosity. Adam stopped in the doorway and spoke gently. "I will not hurt you. You can stay here if you need." The woman stared at him, her hands shaking. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Adam smiled softly. He pointed to the apple and said, "Eat, please." She took a small bite, her eyes never leaving Adam. After a moment, she whispered a word. It was soft, but Adam heard it clearly. "Help." He was surprised. He wanted to ask more, but she stepped back quickly. She picked up the glowing box and held it close to her chest. Adam could see that she was scared. He said, "You are safe here, I promise." But the woman turned and hurried upstairs, disappearing into the attic again. Adam stood alone in the kitchen, feeling a strange connection to this mysterious guest. He wanted to help her, but he did not know how. As he looked at the empty apple core and the strange box, he made a decision. He would earn her trust, no matter who she was or where she came from. Adam knew she needed a friend. Outside, the wind howled through the mountains. Inside, Adam prepared for another night of mystery. He did not know what tomorrow would bring, but he was sure this was only the beginning of something incredible. Night fell quietly on the mountain. The cabin was cold, but Adam did not want to light the fire. He thought maybe the smoke would bring strangers, or maybe it would scare the woman. He waited in the living room, thinking of the words she had spoken. Help. What did she need? And why was she so afraid? As he sat in the silence, Adam heard quiet footsteps from above. He looked up and saw a shadow moving on the stairs. The woman was there, holding the blue box close to her chest. She looked at Adam, her eyes full of fear and hope. Adam stood up but kept his hands by his sides. Showing he was not a threat, he spoke softly. "My name is Adam. You can trust me. I want to help." The woman took a step forward, her silver hair shining in the weak light. She looked around the room, searching for something safe. Finally, she sat on the edge of a chair, still hugging the box. Adam wanted to ask her many questions, but he remembered how scared she was. He only said, "Are you hurt?" The woman shook her head. She opened the box just a little, and inside, blue lights flickered and moved like tiny stars. Adam stared, amazed. He had never seen anything like it. She closed the box quickly and looked away. Adam tried to show he understood. He took the scarf and gently placed it near her. The woman touched it with careful fingers. Then she spoke, her voice trembling but clear. "My name Is Lyra, Adam smiled. Lyra, that is a beautiful name. Lyra looked at Adam, then at the window. She pointed to the darkness outside. They are coming, not safe. Adam felt a chill. Who is coming? He asked. Lyra shook her head. Bad people, they want this, she said. Touching the box, Adam nodded. I will help you. No one will hurt you here. Lyra's eyes softened just a little. She looked at Adam with a strange sadness. She whispered, I come. Far, very far, my world, not this one. Adam could hardly believe her words. But her fear was real, and so was the strange blue light. He decided to listen, even if it sounded impossible. Lyra pulled something from her pocket. It was a small stone, shining with blue light. She handed it to Adam. He felt warmth in his hand, and the stone glowed brighter. Lyra said, For trust. Adam nodded. Thank you. I will keep it safe. They sat in silence for a while, both listening to the quiet mountain night. Suddenly, a sharp sound came from outside. A branch snapped in the darkness. Lyra jumped from the chair, her face pale. Adam stood up. Stay here, he whispered. He looked out the window but saw only darkness and shadows. Still, he could not shake the feeling that someone was watching. He locked the door and checked the windows. Lyra watched him with wide, worried eyes. Adam said, We will be safe, I promise. He sat down close to the door, holding the blue stone tight as the night went on. Lyra slowly relaxed. She sat by the window, staring up at the stars. Adam thought she looked lonely. He wondered what her world was like. He wanted to ask, but he knew it was too soon. Adam made a bed for Lyra in the living room. She accepted it with a soft smile. For the first time, she looked less afraid. Before sleeping, she whispered, Thank you, Adam. Adam smiled, feeling a strange warmth in his heart. He did not know what would happen tomorrow, but for tonight, he had gained a small piece of her trust. He fell asleep with the glowing stone in his hand, dreaming of stars, blue lights, and secrets waiting to be revealed. Morning arrived, but the air around the cabin felt heavy. Adam woke up on the sofa, the blue stone still in his hand. Lyra was already awake, sitting by the window. Watching the mist move between the trees, she looked worried, her eyes searching the woods for hidden threats. Adam fixed some breakfast, trying to act normal. He gave Lyra a piece of bread, and she accepted it quietly. Outside, the forest was too quiet. No birds, no wind, just silence. Adam tried to smile, but he felt the tension growing. After breakfast, Adam stepped outside to get firewood. As he walked around the side of the cabin, he saw something strange. There were deep footprints in the mud, much bigger than his own. He bent down and saw another mark. It looked like a shoe print, but with a strange pattern, like small triangles and circles. He remembered what Lyra had said about bad people. Adam felt a chill run through him. He hurried back inside and locked the door. Lyra stood up when she saw his face. Adam whispered, Someone is here. Lyra's hands shook, and she hugged the blue box close. She pressed her face against the window, watching the trees. Adam saw her eyes fill with fear. He realized that whatever was after her, it was not from this world. All day, the cabin felt like a trap. Adam and Lyra whispered and listened for sounds. They planned what to do if someone tried to break in. Adam put a heavy chair in front of the door. He found an old flashlight and checked the windows. Lyra showed him how to use her glowing stone. When he held it, he felt stronger, braver, as if the stone was protecting him. As the sun went down, the shadows in the forest grew longer. Adam saw a flicker of movement between the trees. He grabbed the flashlight and shined it outside. For a moment, he thought he saw a face pale, with sharp eyes before it disappeared. Lyra gasped and pulled Adam away from the window. She whispered, They found me. Suddenly, there was a loud bang on the door. Adam's heart pounded. He and Lyra held their breath, listening. Someone tried the handle, shaking it hard. Adam shouted, Go away. But his voice shook. There was only silence in reply. Lyra backed away, her whole body trembling. Blue light leaked from the box in her hands, growing brighter with her fear. The banging stopped, but now there was scratching at the door. It sounded like someone was carving letters into the wood. Adam and Lyra huddled in the corner. He tried to comfort her. Lyra pressed the glowing stone into Adam's hand. The stone grew even warmer, and a blue shield of light covered them both for a second. Outside, the scratching stopped. They waited, afraid to move. When Adam finally looked, he saw words cut into the door. The letters were rough and deep. It said, "Give her to us." Adam felt anger rise inside him. He turned to Lyra and promised, "I will not let anyone take you, not ever." Lyra's eyes filled with tears for a moment. The blue shield of light flickered between them. Adam realized their connection was getting stronger. Lyra trusted him, and now he trusted her even more. As the night grew deeper, Adam and Lyra listened to footsteps circling the cabin, but the blue stone kept them safe. Adam held Lyra's hand. He whispered, "We are together. We will fight. We will survive." Outside, shadows moved, but inside the cabin, hope was born. Even with danger waiting in the dark, Adam and Lyra would not give up. Adam could not sleep. Shadows moved outside the cabin, and strange voices whispered in the night. He kept the blue stone in his hand, feeling its gentle warmth. Lyra sat beside him, her face pale but her eyes strong. She did not look scared anymore, only determined. As the first light touched the mountains, Adam made a decision. "We can't stay here. It's not safe," he whispered. Lyra nodded, understanding without words. She opened her glowing box and took out a small device. It looked like a piece of metal, but when she touched it, the air shimmered around her. She handed it to Adam. "Hold this," she said softly. He did, and suddenly the world changed. Colors blurred, and the sound of the forest faded. Adam looked at his hand and saw it was fading, turning almost invisible. Lyra smiled for the first time. "This will hide us for a short time," she explained. Adam stared at her, amazed. "How long?" Lyra shook her head. "Not long. We must hurry." Adam quickly packed some food and water. He wrapped the blue stone in a cloth and put it in his pocket. Lyra took only her box and the strange device. They moved quietly to the back door. Adam peeked outside. No one was there. But deep in the woods, he saw a shadow. The enemy was still searching. Adam and Lyra stepped out into the cold morning. As soon as they passed the edge of the clearing, Lyra pressed the device. A soft blue wave rolled over them, and everything went silent. They moved like ghosts through the trees. The world felt far away. Birds flew by but did not see them. Adam reached out and touched a tree. His hand went right through a spider web, and the web did not move. They kept walking, staying close together. In the distance, they heard strange voices. Adam saw two tall shapes searching near the cabin. Their faces were hidden, and their clothes looked sharp and metallic. One of them carried a scanner with a red light. The scanner moved back and forth, looking for something. Lyra whispered, "Keep moving, do not look back." Adam's heart pounded, but he trusted her. The mountain path was rough, rocks slipped under their feet, and cold wind made their eyes water. But they did not stop. Sometimes the blue light of the device flickered, and their bodies became almost solid again. Adam squeezed Lyra's hand. "We have to go faster," he said. Lyra nodded. She took a deep breath and closed her eyes. The device glowed brighter for a moment. Adam saw the world as she saw it, blue lines and circles in the air, strange symbols floating over the land. It was beautiful and terrifying. Suddenly, a shout echoed through the forest. The enemy had found their tracks. Adam and Lyra ran, their feet barely touching the ground. Branches scratched their arms, and cold rain began to fall. They reached a narrow cave hidden behind rocks. Lyra pulled Adam inside. She pressed the device, and the blue light faded. They were safe for now, but Adam knew it would not last. Inside the cave, Lyra wrapped her arms around her knees. She looked at Adam with tired eyes. "They will not stop," she said. Adam nodded. "But neither will we," he replied. He squeezed her hand and smiled. He was scared, but he was not alone. Outside, the enemy searched the mountain. Inside the cave, Adam and Lyra planned their next move. They would not give up, no matter how far they had to go, or how many times they had to run. Together, they were stronger than fear. And somewhere in the darkness, hope began to grow again. The cave was cold and silent. Rain fell outside, tapping softly against the rocks. Adam sat near the entrance, his clothes wet, his body tired. Lyra sat across from him, holding her glowing box close to her chest. For a long time, neither of them spoke. Only the sound of water echoed in the dark space. Adam looked at her, his voice soft. "Who are they, Lyra? Why are they hunting you?" She didn't answer at first. She stared at the blue lights inside the box, as if searching for courage. Then finally she spoke. "They are called the core," she whispered. "They destroyed my world." Adam leaned forward. Listening closely, Lyra closed her eyes. "I come from a place called Ilion, a beautiful planet, full of light and peace." She opened the box slightly, and a small hologram floated above it. Adam saw shining towers, silver trees, and a sky filled with two suns. It looked like a dream. "But the core came," she said, her voice shaking. "They wanted power. They wanted our energy, the crystal cores." She touched the blue stone Adam had kept. "That is a piece of my world." Adam stared at the stone, now glowing brighter in his pocket. "It's alive," he said. Lyra nodded. "Yes, it feels emotion. It connects with your heart." Adam felt a strange warmth. Maybe that was why he had trusted her so quickly. Maybe the stone had shown him her truth before she even spoke it. "My people fought back," Lyra said, "but we lost. I escaped with this box. It holds a signal, a message for survivors. If I can send it from the highest point of your mountain, they will hear me." Adam looked out at the rainy sky. "You came here for the signal." "Yes," she said, "but the core followed me. They want to destroy the message." Adam stood up, walking in circles, thinking hard. "We need to reach the peak, the top of Black Ridge," he said. Lyra looked up, surprised. "It is far and dangerous." Adam nodded. "I know, but we have no choice." They spent the rest of the day preparing. Adam found dry wood in the back of the cave and started a small fire. They warmed their hands and shared the last of their food. Lyra showed him how to use the blue stone to create a light shield. "It won't last long," she said, "but it will protect us once." That night, as they lay near the fire, Adam asked a final question. "Why me, Lyra? Why did you trust me?" Lyra turned toward him, her voice barely a whisper. "You were kind, and the stone. It chose you." Adam didn't fully understand, but he smiled. Maybe fate had brought them together, or maybe it was something deeper. He looked at the stars. Through a crack in the cave ceiling, one of them blinked, then moved. Lyra sat up quickly, her eyes wide. "That's not a star," she said. Adam stood, watching the strange light move across the sky. "It's a ship," she said. "My people. They are near." But at that moment, a red light flashed outside the cave. Adam grabbed the stone. Lyra pulled out her device. A loud sound shook the rocks. The core were here. They had found them again. Adam looked at Lyra. "Tomorrow we climb," he said. Lyra nodded, gripping his hand. Together, they faced the darkness with only light, courage, and a tiny spark of hope. The mountain peak was far, but the truth had changed everything. And Adam knew now this was not just Lyra's fight, it was his too. The cold mountain wind screamed through the narrow trail. Adam and Lyra climbed higher, the sky dark and heavy above them. Their boots slipped on wet rocks, their breath turning to mist. But they didn't stop, they couldn't. The signal box was strapped to Lyra's back. Its blue glow pulsed like a heartbeat. The top of Black Ridge was still far, hidden behind fog and jagged cliffs. But every step forward meant hope. Hope that someone out there would hear her call. Hope that this would finally end. Suddenly, the wind shifted. A low hum filled the air. Growing louder, Adam turned his head and saw them dark shapes flying low through the sky. 3 core drones, scanning the ground, searching, hunting. Lyra pulled Adam behind a rock, her voice sharp. They're here. Adam grabbed the glowing stone from his pocket. It burned hot in his hand, reacting to danger. Lyra touched the device on her wrist, and for a moment they vanished, hidden in a shimmer of light. The drones flew over them, too fast to notice, but they would be back. We need to move now, Adam said. Lyra nodded, her face pale but focused. They climbed again, through narrow paths and frozen air. Each time Adam looked down, he saw how high they had come. Each time he looked up, the peak felt just out of reach. Finally, just before dawn, they reached the summit. A flat stone surface stood at the top of the world. The wind roared around them. Lyra dropped to her knees. Pulling the box from her back, she opened it, and blue light shot into the sky like a beacon. Symbols danced in the air, spinning, rising, singing in a strange, beautiful tone. Adam stood guard, scanning the horizon. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then he saw them, 3 dark figures climbing fast. The core were coming. Lyra, how long? Adam shouted. She didn't answer, her eyes glowing with light, her hands holding the box steady. The signal had begun, and she couldn't stop now. The core reached the ridge, their weapons glowing red. Adam ran forward, the blue stone burning bright in his fist. A shield burst around him, blocking the first energy blast. He charged at them, yelling with all his strength. He wasn't a soldier, but he was ready to protect her. The core attacked again, pushing him back, just when Adam thought the shield would break. A sound filled the sky, a deep, powerful hum. Growing louder and louder, he looked up and saw it. A ship, silver and massive, rising from the clouds above. The light from its engines painted the sky in gold and blue. The core froze, their weapons lowering for just a second. In that moment, a beam of light hit the ground between them. The shockwave knocked everyone back. Adam landed hard, gasping for air. From the ship, 3 figures floated down, wrapped in light and armor. Lyra opened her eyes, tears falling down her cheeks. My people, she whispered. The Eleonians moved quickly, surrounding Lyra, scanning her for injuries. One of them looked at Adam and nodded. You protected her. We thank you, he said in a deep voice. Adam stood slowly, his body sore, his clothes torn. He looked at Lyra, unsure of what to say. She walked over to him and placed her hand on his chest. You saved my life, and more than that, you gave me hope. Adam smiled, though his heart ached. He knew what was coming. She had to leave. The ship lowered a platform, and the Eleonians stepped on. Lyra turned one last time. She took the glowing stone from Adam's hand and split it in 2. She gave him one half and said, This will always connect us. Then, without another word, she stepped onto the platform, and the ship rose into the sky. Adam stood alone on the mountain peak, the wind cold, but the sky clear. He watched the lights fade into the stars. Then he looked at the piece of blue crystal in his hand. It pulsed gently, like it was alive, like a quiet goodbye. He didn't know if he would ever see her again, but he knew one thing: his life had changed forever, and somewhere out there in the stars, a friend was watching.